So real talk, right? Do you know that your meals do not need a complete makeover? They just need one of these five simple upgrades, and chances are you already have them in your home. If you've ever felt like your food is just, food and it's not really giving you that, that energy, that richness that you need, you're not alone, right? A lot of us eat for fullness, not nutrients, right? But there are a few things that you can start adding to your meals that will not only make it more satisfying, but even healthier and tastier for you. And I'm not talking about some complicated, health routine, right? I'm talking about the everyday stuff that you see in Nigerian markets, right? Something that things that you've been probably ignoring and you've been sleeping on for too long. And when most people talk about healthy eating, right, it sounds very far-fetched, like you have to use like ingredients that are very foreign, that you probably can't even pronounce the name, or you cannot even afford, right? But eating healthy might just look like adding one more thing to what you're already eating, right? That's how simple it is, honestly. So today I'm going to show you five simple game changers that you can start using today. Not expensive, not stressful, just smart. All right, so let's get into it. The first on my list is Greek yogurt, right? This is not your regular sugar packed, yogurt from the supermarket. Greek yogurt, especially unsweetened, it is thick, it is protein rich, it is full of probiotics that will support your gut health, right? Your gut health is basically, I'm sure you maybe heard of gut health, right? So your gut is basically your GI tract, gastrointestinal tract, right? Which is a complex system that is responsible for the different processes that takes place in our bodies, right? Which is crucial for our overall health. So you want to give it like the good stuff, right? So Greek yogurt is rich in calcium, B12, selenium for your bones, energy and immunity. So you can add it to smoothies, you can eat it as a snack with fruits and nuts, you can use it as a salad dressing, you can even use it as a base, for your sauces, right? It is creamy, it is versatile, right? And it keeps you full longer. Honestly, I just take a small portion of this, throw in some nuts and fruits, and sometimes it feels like an actual meal for me, right? And yes, I know it might be a little bit pricey than like the regular yogurt, right? But a little goes a long way, really. All right, so number two on my list is power spices and culinary herbs. I call this power spices because yes, they are powerful. You are cooking anyway, right? So why not level it up with power spices and herbs that would actually do more for your body, not just Korean thyme. Korean thyme are not the only spices that exist in this country, please, or in this world, right? There are a ton of other herbs, there are a ton of other spices that can add a lot more flavor, to your meals, and it is, super healthy for you. So I'll just list a few, and one of them is turmeric. Turmeric is this bright yellow magic that fights inflammation. You can add it to your stew, to your sauces, to your fried rice, your jollof rice. Just try to get it into your food somehow. The second on my list is cinnamon. Cinnamon, this is a sweet and aromatic spice that has been linked to blood sugar control and may help to reduce the risk of heart disease, right? It's also very rich in antioxidants, so you want to get it into your food as much as possible. It doesn't really have a pungent taste, right? So you can really literally add it to anything, to your smoothies, to your oats, to your paps, to your sauces, to your soups, to really anything, right? You can add it to it. So try to get some cinnamon into your food. So the last on our list of spices is garlic. Garlic, garlic, garlic. I know we all know garlic. We've heard about garlic. Our moms and our grandmas use garlic in our sauces, in our stews, right? But more than flavor, right? Garlic is a powerhouse of health benefits, right? For your heart health, for your immunity, it may help lower blood pressure and reduce cholesterol levels. So please add garlic to anything as much as you can. It has a strong smell. So if you're going out, right, or you're going to some sort of gathering, you might want to, go with some mint or rinse your mouth like with clove water or something, just to like, keep the garlic smell like in check, right? But try to get garlic in your foods as much as possible. It's not just for flavor, but it's super, super great for your immunity and overall health. So there are a ton of other spices and culinary herbs that you can add to your meals. There's cayenne pepper, there's rosemary, there's basil, there's coriander, there's parsley, and so much more, right? So just go out there and look out for these herbs, look out for these spices, and try to, add one that you've not used before or you've heard about that you want to try out, right? You can get this in the supermarket, mostly in the dry form, but you can also grow them. They're actually very easy to grow, honestly. Most herbs are, low maintenance, so you don't need to do a lot of work. All you need is all you need is a pot, some soil, and a sprinkle of love. So I grow some of these herbs myself. And what's better than having fresh herbs that you can have access to anytime you want to use them? I mean, what's better than that? So you can think about growing them. It's actually easy. And I know like some of these things are not, our, let's say, traditional or conventional, herbs or vegetables that we use in Nigeria, right? But I feel I look at things like, God created these things for mankind. I don't think, God created it to be restricted to a certain country or a certain culture, right? So if you have access to it, if you can get them, please try to do, plant them. Some things I didn't know that could be planted here, right? I tried and then it grew, right? And I'm using them, right? So it is something that is made for everybody. If you can, please do try to get them. It is great for your health. There are a ton of benefits in herbs and spices. Please add them to your meals today. Today, yes, today. All right, so the third on my list is herbal teas. Yes, you heard me right, herbal teas. I'm talking about your hibiscus leaves, which is the common zobo that we know, ginger, peppermint tea, lemon balm, chamomile, holy basil, butterfly pea, nettle, and so much more, right? Herbal teas are the real teas. All those, ones they are calling teas, Milo, Bonvita, Cowbell, those are not teas. Like herbal teas and the real teas. I saw something the other day on X. The Milo brand in Nigeria compared to Milo in other countries, right? First of all, these beverages contain, a large amount of sugar, right? But then this, I don't know what the statistic, can't remember what it was, right? But like Milo in Nigeria compared to other parts of the world have so much more sugar contained in them, right? And we have, parents giving their children this on a day to day, and we wonder why, they're having problems. But that's story for another day, right? So herbal teas are the real deal, right? Just a small cup of this, goes a long way. Contains a lot for you, right? They have anti-inflammatory properties, antimicrobial, they have nerve calming properties, right? These things are good for your brain health, they're good for your memory, they're good for your cells and your overall health, right? You don't want to shortchange yourself, please. Get some herbal teas. Either take them in the morning when you wake up to give your day that great start, right? Or you want to take it before you go to bed to help you, just calm your nerves. But beyond that, they contain a lot of properties that are awesome for your health. So please don't leave your Zobo for only special occasions or parties, right? Just get, a handful of the leaves, put them inside water, let it brew, put them inside hot water, let it brew for some minutes. Hot water or cold is fine, right? Put some healthy sweetener in there, and then you have a cup of goodness, right? It has been said to help to lower, blood pressure and cholesterol levels. So it's one tea that is good for you. We know of ginger tea. I know we use ginger for cooking. Making it as a tea is another way to get the amazing properties it has, into your system, into your body, right? I know it's popular for its ability to relieve, nausea and digestive issues, but it also contains anti-inflammatory properties that can help to reduce cell damage. So ginger is super great for you. You can even use the cool tea. You've brewed it, right? And then it's cooled. You can use it as a liquid for your normal cooking, right? It sounds really fancy, but it's just simple, it's just smart, right? So try to get it one way or the other. Herbal teas into your meals. And just a side note here, right? If you are pregnant or you're on medications, right, you might want to check with your doctor or your healthcare, professional, right, to be sure if you can use them, right? Some of the properties in the herbs might not be a good combination, with your medication. So you might want to check that, right? And also some people might be allergic to some herbs. So if you're just starting out, please start small and see how your body reacts to it, right? But overall herbs are awesome for you. So please get them as much as you can. Be sure to also get, quality herbs. I know herbs in the dry form, right? There are different types. You just want to be sure that you're getting the right one from a good brand that you've checked, you've tested, you've asked questions, and then you're just sure you're getting quality herbs, because sometimes too the dry herbs that they sell out there might not be the actual thing, right? So you want to be sure. All right. So the fourth on my list are seeds and nuts. We're talking about chia seeds, flax seeds, almond nuts, pumpkin seeds, your cashews, and many more, right? These are small but mighty. They are loaded with omega-3s, protein, fiber, and antioxidants. So you want to get as much as you can into your meals. You can sprinkle them into your pap, your oats, your yogurt, your salad, and even your sauces and stews. Yes, for me, I like to think about healthy eating as how can I incorporate this into my foods, right? I'm already eating. I'm not very much of an aesthetic person, right? That cares about how it looks. I really just care about how I can get as much of the goodness into my body. That's what I'm thinking about, right? So you don't need to eat a whole bowl, right? Just a tablespoon or a small handful can give your meal a whole new boost, right? So what we're trying to do here is to cultivate a habit, right? It's a long life thing, right? It's about the lifestyle. We're trying to get you used to, right? So I would say find what works for you. Find the easy ways that you can little by little incorporate this thing into your diet. I do not like to think of healthy eating. That's why I don't like to use those like really common terms of like dieting. I'm on a restrictive diet and all the stuff where I try to just think of it like the normal ideal way that I'm supposed to live life, the way God created us to live, things God created us to eat, right? So it shouldn't be foreign or strange, right? You're already eating anyway. Find how you can easily, add these things that it won't feel like a big shift, or a big adjustment that you have to make, right? If you're a remote worker, you can snack on these things in between meals. If you do a lot of prep. You can find ways to add it to your normal meals that you already eat. There are different ways you can work with it, right? So experiment, try new things, right? There are a ton of recipes and the methods you can use. You might just check and see something that you like, and then you just start from there, right? The main thing is to try and get this into your meals. They are sweet, they are filling, and they even help with your digestion. There's a lot of goodness in seeds, and so please don't look away, right? Instead, go and look for them. All right, so the last and final on my list, which is one of my favorites, are veggies, vegetables. Yes, you heard me right. Vegetables, and I know you already know about vegetables. You've heard about it, from your mom or your grandma. Eat your veggies, eat your veggies. And when I was little, when I think of veggies, it sounds like things old people eat, and the only veggies I liked to eat was salad, like the cabbage, your carrots, with a lot of cream, with my white rice and stew and jollof rice and all of that, right? But like there are a ton of other variety of vegetables that are great for you, and you don't have to leave it to like special occasions or a day like you feel like eating, it's Sunday and you want to incorporate salad into your meal. No, you can bulk up every meal with easy to make, easy to cook veggies, right? You can just stir fry them or blanch them or even eat them the way they are, right? So yeah, a ton of them, right? Your traditional ones like ugu, your scent leaf, your shoko, and all of that. There's also Swiss chard, there's spinach, there's kale. I love kale so much. If you're looking for one vegetable that has a ton of benefits in one place, right? It's kale. Try and get kale into your meals. There's bok choy, there's purple cabbage, there are normal carrots that we eat. There are a ton of vegetables. If it's from your tomatoes that we're already eating to your bell peppers that contain even more vitamin C than oranges, just try to get as much as you can in every meal. I like to think that there are meals that actually you can add vegetables, I guess. But I think there are more foods that you can add vegetables. So don't look down on vegetables. Try to see how you can get them in as much as you can. They contain vitamins, minerals, fiber, even calcium, ton of benefits, right? That is just going to be great for your health, your immunity, your cells are going to be happy, and you're just going to thrive, right? All around. So please vegetables, don't look down on it. It's a power food. So you see, nothing here is out of reach, right? These aren't supplements or imported, labels. They are things that God has provided, for everyone to benefit from. We just probably walk past them in the market and we forget that, we even have them in our homes, right? That's the point, right? Eating for health doesn't have to be so deep, right? It doesn't have to be deep. It can be simple, it can be local, it can be you, it can be tweaked how you want it to be. So don't feel the pressure to change, your whole meal plan overnight, right? Now you sprinkle some seeds or add 1 spoon of yogurt or brew a ginger or hibiscus tea after lunch, right? Just try one thing and see how your body responds. All right, so now it's your turn. So just pick one thing from the list and add it to your next meal. Yeah, just one. And try it out. Then come back and let me know how it went in the comments. Or, share your challenges with trying to incorporate these things into your everyday meals. All right, so you've got this one step at a time. So see you on the next one. Bye.